morning, warriors. Good morning, Mr. Lockyer. Please join me in the pledge to the Bible. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will hide its words in my heart, that I might not sin against God. Join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's work through our catechisms, and we'll add a new one this week. The first one is, who made you?
God made me.
What else did God make?
God made all things.
Remember, we're going to say them crisp. Why did God make you in all things? For his own glory. Good. How can you glorify God? By loving him and doing what he commands. Why are you to glorify God?
Because he made me and takes care of me.
Is there more than one true God?
No, there is only one true God.
And how many persons does this one God exist?
In 3 persons.
Name these 3 persons.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
What is God?
God
Is a spirit and does not have a body like men. Where is God?
God is everywhere.
Can you see God?
No, I cannot see God, but he always sees me.
Does God know all things?
Yes, nothing can be hidden from God.
Can God do all things?
Yes, God can do all his holy will.
Where do you learn how to love and obey God?
In the Bible alone.
Who wrote the Bible?
Chosen men who were inspired by the Holy Spirit.
Who were our first parents?
Adam and Eve.
So the reason that's important is when God created Adam and Eve, they became our representative heads over all mankind, and they'd established the relationship between how God and man were to work together. God created Adam and Eve, and they represented us, and that'll be important as we talk later in the catechism, because we know in Genesis 1 and 2, that relationship between man and God is perfect. It's based on our Adam and Eve's ability to obey what God had created and God had made for them, and the laws that God had created, the law about don't eat the fruit, but then he also gave them commands about multiply and to work and to do all these things. And that relationship between God and Adam and Eve is perfect. We know later in Genesis 3 that something happens, but that's an important thing for us to understand. This next question following that is, so we have Adam and Eve, and then just to clarify, just be very specific, and this is an important question even now today, is how did God create man? So that's my question. The answer is, God created man, male and female, after his own image. So repeat after me. God created man, male and female, after his own image. Your turn. Male and female, after his own image. Try it again. I'll say it first, then you say it. God created man, male and female, after his own image. Your turn.
God created man, male and female, after his own image.
So let's try it. Let's do it all together. How did God create man? God created man, male and female, after his own image. And that is just to be clear as far as the way God created Adam and Eve, male and female. That's an important distinction. And then also after his own image, which meant that Adam and Eve and all of humankind is different than anything else God created. And we'll learn more about why that's important later in the catechism. Today we have a special guest. We've been working through our virtues. We've been talking about the historic Christian virtues. We talked a lot about love, so faith, hope, and love. But now we're talking about more of the classical virtues, and the first one we're going to talk about is prudence. So please welcome Miss Carlisle.
Good morning, warriors. Yes, say it. Glad to be here today. I'm going to ask you to hold this. I can't be up here by myself, so I have to have some helpers. I just wanted to share a little bit of some of the thoughts I had over the weekend, and a little bit about prudence. When I've looked in my Bible and the index in the back, it tells me that prudence is also being careful and wise. And so I'm curious to know, did anyone put up a nativity scene in their home? And you would have 3 characters in that nativity scene, which would be wise men. Raise your hand if you have heard of the wise men, maybe even have them in your home. We see them depicted on Christmas cards and throughout. And I just wanted to bring mine because I really like them. So here is one, just a little terracotta looking. And this one, interesting, is in a kneeling position. This is a posture of worship. So a lot of times in our Christmas story, we always kind of go to the book of Luke and we read that, and it's a very beautiful rendition of the birth of Christ. But I would like to read from the book of Matthew, specifically about the visit of the Magi. Now, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, you might would think Herod would be wise because he is a king. That could be possible. Magi from the east arriving in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star in the east and have come to worship him." Does anybody have a star on the top of their Christmas tree by chance? It would be because of this star here that the Magi, the wise men, were following to find where Jesus was. When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Gathering together all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem, in Judea, for this has been written by the prophet. God had already told the people that a Messiah was coming, and he said this in the book of Micah. This is what he said. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the leaders of Judah, for out of you shall come forth a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." The word ruler really caught the eye of this King Herod. Then Herod secretly called the Magi and determined from them the exact time the star appeared. These wise men were also very learned men. They had studied the stars, similar to how our 6th grade studies the stars and all of the planets of the heavens. So they knew that this was going to be happening at a certain time because of the position of the stars. So Herod is asking them about this. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the Christ, and when you have found him, report to me, so that I too may come and worship him." We are not real sure how he truly wanted to worship him, but he really did want to know where this ruler was going to be coming from, that he would like to see him. He might have been thinking, I'm a ruler, and now here's a ruler, so who's going to be ruling? There could be a problem there. So after hearing the king, they went their way, the Magi, and the star, which they had seen in the east, went on before them until it came and stood over the place where Christ was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. After coming into the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they fell to the ground and worshiped him. Only at the sight of Jesus, the right thing to do was to fall before him and worship him. Then, opening their treasures, they presented to him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. There's a little more to the story, and I want to tell you the rest of the story tomorrow. There might be a reason why they offered Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh. That is a whole nother study itself. And I would encourage you to read Matthew 2 so that you can understand a little more about these wise men. So one question, where are the wise men from? Is it the east or the west? You can say. It's the east, and they were going westward. East, from in this perspective, would be in the continent of Asia. Does anybody know where the continent of Asia is? Okay, you better come to 5th grade and check it out. All right. One other thing, they knew that they were hunting for this Jesus, and they wanted to bring gifts. So their wisdom is coming before a ruler that they've never seen before, and they are bringing him, name them for me, everybody, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And one last question, who was the king at the time? King Herod. Okay, I might ask you these questions tomorrow, and then you'll already have an answer, okay? All right, well, I hope that you will enjoy this Christmas season, and we will learn a little more about the wise men, the Magi from the east, and you guys have a great day. Thank you. Okay. Oh, wait, I need to also. If you want to come to my class and see these, you're welcome to do that anytime this week. All right, y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Carlisle. So one of the proper responses anytime you are confronted with Jesus, the Christ, is worship, but also is joy. So we're singing How Great Our Joy.
While by the sheep we watched at night, glad tidings brought an angel bright. How great our joy, great our joy. Joy, joy, joy. Praise we the Lord in heaven on high. There shall be born, so he did say, in Bethlehem a child today. How great our joy! Joy, joy, joy! Praise we the Lord in heaven on high. There shall the child lie in a stall, this child who shall redeem us all. How great our joy! Joy, joy, joy! Praise we the Lord in heaven on high. This gift of God we'll cherish well, that ever joy our hearts shall feel. How great our joy! Joy, joy, joy! Praise we the Lord in heaven on high.
Let's see if we remember our catechism question. How did God create man? Male and female. Ah. Yep, so God created man, male and female, after his own image. Let's try it again. How did God create man? Man. And the big takeaway with that is God created you specifically and special and uniquely. It's a wonderful gift that he's given you. And the gift of today is that we'll work hard and show prudence, show wisdom in everything that we do. So Lord be with you.